One more coming in. All right, this is December the 18th, 2024 at 12:03 Central Time. My name is Brian Ahern. I'm one of the founders of Repairs First Association that has the agreement with AKKO Device Protection so that repair shops and even wireless dealers can offer device protection to their customers. And then as long as you're an approved RFA member, then the claim is sent back to you for the repair. But this call today is mainly I want more of an open Q&A kind of a thing here. I see a lot of new names on here. I see a lot of previous names on here. Nate, who just blew me up on Facebook. I'm just kidding you, Nate. That was a different post. But basically, I just want to talk about how easy it is to offer the device protection to your customer. Um, and so I just want to open it up and someone come on here besides me and just say, what is working for you at your store? What is your strategy? Let's talk about the basics first. Anybody, just if you need to unmute yourself, just unmute yourself. Um, Nobody? So everybody's selling like 50 plans a month? Okay. Can everybody hear me? Go into comments and type a comment that you can at least hear me.
We can hear you, Brian.
Okay, good. All right. So who, and don't be shy, anybody on here, what are you doing currently that works well for you? And if you're not doing anything, just say, I haven't even tried to offer it yet. I don't know what works. I don't know what will work or what won't work.
Yeah, I'll jump in here, Brian. This is
Okay, Josh.
certainly new for us. We just launched our retail location or opened the doors last Tuesday. So
Okay.
um, we haven't even gotten our marketing material yet, to be quite frank. But
Okay.
yeah, just more so wanted to jump on. And to your point, would certainly love to hear what's been working for some of these other guys, you know what I mean, in the past, and open
Okay.
to any tips, tricks, and ideas that are out there right now.
Perfect. So, and I'm surprised he didn't new for you. Okay, no problem. All right, here so as most of you guys and ladies on this call know, uh, I've been with AKKO now for this is like the fifth year. Okay, and I do 90% of all the training, and we do the vetting for the shop to be able to offer repairs. Okay. I've onboarded in the last 5 years over 1,000 doors. And there's our membership base of the RFA, and that's a little over 1,000 locations across the US and Canada. They're even pushing this in Ireland right now with our Ireland group. They have to register a little bit differently, but we're taking this internationally. The biggest drawback I hear is we just don't offer it. It's like tempered glass. If you look at AKKO, and I'm going to lean back. I hope that doesn't bother nobody. This green dot around my head, I don't know what's going on with my camera, but the biggest thing that I hear when I call up a member who's been a member for a while and say, "Hey, I notice you're not really doing very many AKKO plans." He says, "Well, yeah, we just really haven't offered it." And then I'll ask, "Well, how come you haven't offered it?" And then sometimes I'll get the answer of, "Well, it's only a $20 commission." Okay, well, it might be 15, 20, 45, depending on which plan it is. True. Yes, it does take about 10 minutes of your time to sign the customer up. But the long-term goal of it is when the customer breaks their phone, if you're an approved repair facility, which I can help, if you're on this call and if you're not already approved repair facility, get a hold of me and I will get you set up. Okay. The customer is sent back to you for the repair, and AKKO pays your normal retail price for the repair. That's the long-term benefit of it. Okay. Now, how to offer it. I have a way that works well for me, and I'm going to kind of, I don't mean this in any derogatory, but I'm going to kind of slow it down because sales is a verbal cue, it is a body language cue presentation that all starts from the moment the customer walks into your store. Okay. If a customer walks into your store and you go, yo, what's up? What do you want? Well, I mean, you're going to lose half of it. Okay. Customer walks into your store. I'm just going to use the generic terminology of cell phone repair. Okay. Customer walks into your store, your person at the front counter. Hey, welcome to cell phone repair. How can I help you today? Customer says, hey, I've got this broken phone. Hey, not a problem. Let me see what you've got. Let me see what you have. And I'll be able to give you an estimate of the repair. Okay. I never, even with the 9 stores I had, none of my employees ever asked a customer, what kind of phone do you have when they walked in the front door? The person at the front counter always said, let me see your phone. You literally have the phone out of their hands in your hands. Possession's 9/10 of the game here. Okay. It's now in your quote unquote possession. Oh, I see you got the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Hey, not a problem at all. We can definitely take care of you. Do you by chance happen to have your AKKO claim number? Customers are going to look at you like, what's that? Oh, you don't have the AKKO device protection, and point to your sign, the counter mat, the one that Tony Chashuk made, or you can inside your AKKO portal and their marketing materials. There's all different kinds of ones that you can download and print off. If you get the counter mat and follow the process, what it says on that, AKKO will reimburse you up to $30 of the cost, which is less than $30, but you're going to have to get a printer to print in color and point to it. Now, I always, whenever I go to a store, I always go for the least expensive one first. I always quote the $5 plan. There's a $5 flat rate plan per month or $60 a year. It only covers glass breakage on the front of the phone. That's it. So I always quote that one, and I'll say, well, you got the $5 plan, don't you, where it only costs you $29 to repair your phone? And then the customer says, no, I don't have that. Well, and then I slow down again and I pause. And keep in mind, even though this presentation is going to be like the back of your hand, it's the first time that customer's heard it. Okay, so be genuine, be sincere, right? Like you're wanting to help the customer. Don't offer it's like, hey, do you want to put insurance on that? And they're going to say no. I would. I every time I go to Walmart or Best Buy or whatever and buy electronic, do you want to put no? They didn't even get the words out of their mouth yet. I just no. But then I'll say, oh, here comes Tony. Good. I'm glad he's coming on here because he's got some techniques also that work well for him in his stores. And then so I go through the first process. You know, I asked them for their AKKO claim number. They tell me they don't have it, which I know that. I say, oh, well, good news, bad news. What do you want to hear first? And they're always going to say, give me the bad news. And I flip that back around. It's like, well, let me give you some good news first. So when you bought your iPhone 12 Pro Max, do you remember how much you paid for it? Probably close to $1,000, right? You see what I'm doing? I'm nodding my head. I bet half the people that are watching me right now start nodding their head too. It's very contagious. Okay. Nod your head a little bit. Look him straight in the eye. You probably paid about $1,000 for your phone, didn't you, when you bought your phone? Maybe you overpayments, but they were expensive. Well, the good news is it's not going to cost you nearly that much today to get it fixed. But unfortunately, it's still a very expensive repair. Okay. Today, it's going to run you whatever you charge. I'm just going to use a number of 179. I have no idea what you guys charge. Well, I know what a general charge is, but I'm just using this. Today, it's going to run you $179.99 plus tax for a Leica OEM screen. And don't worry about that, though. Let's get that pain out of the way. Once I get your phone fixed, we'll put this $5 plan on there. It's either $5 a month or $60 a year, which is 1/3 the cost to repair your phone. And the next time you break your phone, if you pay for the whole year, you have no deductible. you get a $29 deductible credit for paying in advance or paying for a whole year up front. If you pay monthly, that's okay too. You only pay a $29 deductible. That's it. And they're going to look at it and go, oh, well, that's interesting. And then leave them be. Take the phone. Again, sales is all about a presentation. Okay. Then take the phone to the back. You know, in my whole time in this industry, I have never once had any of my employees repair a phone in front of a customer. You're devaluing your time. Okay. I would have them take it in the back and say, hey, most repairs take about an hour. I'll give you, what number can I call you at when your phone is done? Now, this is doing all your pre-check and your all that fun stuff. Okay. I'm not going through all that because you guys probably all do it differently. I have my way of doing it, but however you do that. So now it's been about an hour. You've contacted the customer back. Customers come back into your store. Okay. Now, the first thing I did is I put a mental cue in their head. I told them the phone when they bought it was roughly about $1,000, which is pretty accurate. Okay. And I've already hit them for 179. So I've already hit their pocketbook for 179 for a repair. So I've already hit them verbally. Now it's the body language. Now, one thing that works well for me, I'll wrap it up in a microfiber towel. Okay. And I'll hold it like I'm holding a baby and I'll walk out of the back. I know it sounds funny, but trust me, it works. You bring it up and you hold it with two hands, you untake the microfiber towel, you peel off the plastic on the screen, and you hand it to your customer and say, now be careful, it's glass. I mean, yeah, you know it's glass, I know it's glass. Now I'm reminding them, mental cue, right? It's fragile. I could break it again. It's possible. I may have dropped it 20 times and never broke before, but he's right, it is glass. I don't want to pay $179 again to get my phone fixed. So now we got those mental cues going in, right? And then you do your post check and all that fun stuff. And then, you know, at the end of the transaction, you point down to your counter mat. Okay. And you say, now the $5 plan covers the glass only coverage. Okay. If you break your phone again, just the glass, it's covered. If you pay monthly, it's $29. If you pay annually, there's no deductible on your first claim. Is that enough coverage for you, or would you rather have the whole coverage for only $8 a month, or whatever it is, 72, 8 times 12, $96 a year? You know, is that going to be enough? Or are you afraid of your phone getting stolen? If you're afraid your phone might get stolen, then I would get the $11 plan. Okay, the $11 plan covers theft and all damages. Which one of these is going to be enough protection for you? Notice how I never did say, do you want insurance? I never say, is that okay with you? I'm assuming the sale from the time they walk in the front door. Now, that way for me, when I traveled to Vegas to the GRE and back from the GRE from Missouri, I stopped by several shops. Unfortunately, none of you guys are on this call. I don't see you on here. I was hoping you would be on here so you could validate this. But I went to 10 total stores between Missouri and Las Vegas and back. And I used that same presentation in every single store. And I sold 4 out of 5 people at least a $5 plan, at least minimum. Okay. Now the registration process, it's super simple. I've got a video on it. I don't want to labor too much of this call on that. I want to more focus on the sales side of things. But for a lot of you that know me, know that I've been in sales pretty much my entire life. And you'll also hear me say the best salesperson is the person who is not a salesperson. You come across with empathy. Oh my gosh, what happened to your phone? Now, I know you probably don't care. I don't. But it's a presentation. There's a reason why the carriers, you know, if you want to compare this to your local Verizon or whatever, go into your local Verizon or whatever corporate stores and see how you're sold from the time you walk in the front door. That's what your customers are used to. Okay. They have a very high attach rate for their $17.50 a month of Shurion or whatever. Okay. AKKO is half the price for twice the coverage. Okay. So it's literally a no-brainer to your customer, right? The registration process in the very beginning, when you first start doing it, you might stumble through it a little bit. I get it. But once you get used to it, you extract the IMEI, you extract the serial number. Here's a plug for you, Tony. If you're using my repair app, it does all that for you. There's your plug, Tony. Um, and then you just take the two simple photos. That's it. And they're done. All right, I see some questions in here. I'm going to get to those. Hold on here. I missed a few questions here. I've sold one, so I feel like I'm qualified to answer. Okay, Cody, you've done, yep, you're right. Dylan, yep. Okay, okay. I don't know what works. Okay, I must have already got past those. Got it. My microphone is okay. The registration process. Okay, yeah, there you go, Tony. You plugged yourself. But if you're not using my repair app, then it's just a couple of extra pushes of the button. It's just extracting the IMEI and the serial number. It's not all that challenging. So now Tony's store, he's not the top store out there. You guys might think I'm silly, but we literally have a store in Florida that sells almost 100 plans a month, and they only probably do about 350 repairs a month. So they're selling over 25%. And if I had the guy on the call right now, he would admit the fact that his manager doesn't even push it to every single customer. Sometimes they're just too busy. And I get that. Okay. And again, the best part about this is when your customer does break their phone again, you don't have to worry that they're going to go down to your competitor down the street. Okay. So I'm going to pause on that for now. Tony, I'm going to throw you out there, if you don't mind, since I know you do some sales, and I want to hear what kind of sales pitches work for you and your team.
Yeah, hello.
Hey,
Basics, I mean, same thing. We really what works best is, I mean, number one, repetition, right? If you pitch it 100% of the time, even if it's not a good pitch, you're gonna sell. You're gonna sell at least one or two a week, even if it's the absolute worst pitch ever. So if you're selling zero, it's just because your staff's not offering it. Because I mean, the reality is what we tell people all the time is, Verizon now, if you get insurance, is what, $18, $19 a month for one phone.
Yeah.
So we tell them, hey, you can, typically what we do, and we check it in, a similar process to what Brian said, but what we kind of do is when we talk about the cost and how we can save the money, before we pitch the product, we go and ask, hey, so outside of this phone, what other electronics do you have in your home? You got any expensive MacBooks, iMacs, gaming consoles, got any laptops, TVs? And we just kind of, ask, and they're like, oh, of course. Well, hey, any Apple Watches? I'm like, how many do you think you have? And then they'll be like, oh man, shoot, you know what? I got, yeah, two MacBooks and we got an iPad and my kids have an iPad and my husband just bought a new Ultra Watch too. And I'm like, okay, well, so just like, and then we just go into the product, right? Hey, this everything plan is $15 a month, covers one phone and everything you just mentioned. And we can actually fix all of that here. So we're your one-stop shop. So for instance, your MacBook, it's if you break it, hopefully you don't, but you said you have a 3-year-old at home. It's like a $600, $700 screen repair with us. If that happens, it's $100 max, even if he spills his juice on it. And so you're painting really what works well to paint that picture. You use the fact that they admitted they have a child in the home, they have really expensive products. And then we say, hey, if that's too much, I mean, for $8 a month, we'll cover the whole phone. So if your kid snaps it in half or you leave it on the bumper of your car and you run it over, it's just $8 a month and the whole device is covered. Doesn't matter what you do to it. If you're worried about losing it, hey, $3 extra. But at that point, why don't you pay me $4 more and just cover everything else? And you're really just kind of getting them to realize, wait, it's only a couple of bucks extra. And that works really well. It's a basic pitch. We just kind of, but I think it's just like any other sales, right? You have to ask questions. You can't just go in there and say, oh my gosh, this repair is going to be $300. If you buy this protection plan, next time it's 29.
Yeah.
You just ask questions, let them talk about, yeah, I have a ton of stuff. Yes, we have children. Yes, we have, yes, we have two Rottweilers that live inside the house. And you kind of get them to realize, hey, I have a crazy life. That's our pitch. We keep it simple, just like you said. It's super simple, and we
Yeah, I'm one of those people that, to me, and probably to a lot of people on this call, a cell phone to me is worth nothing. Okay. I get them for a dime a dozen. I mean, I'd never pay retail price. And if ever do break my phone, well, I've got RFA members that'll hook me up, or I'll just get on the phone. And I've got the AKKO on mine. And I haven't broken it yet. But I will say this, my wife, we were at the lake this summer and she just got, what was it, the 14 or whatever it was, just got it. And we're out there in the boat and she was trying to take a picture of something. I don't know what the heck she was doing. Dropped it in the lake. Literally dropped it in the lake right there. And it was like 20 feet deep. And I'm not diving down 20 feet to go get her damn phone. We made a claim on it. And it's not because it's me or anything like that. I mean, it's, AKKO treats everybody equally, right? I had, location services enabled. I followed the rules, took the pictures. I mean, when we follow the rules, AKKO pays, right? The rules are super simple, like falling off a horse. Um, and they had funds in her account within 24 hours to buy another phone. And they used backmarket.com. Actually, her phone was so new, they actually went with what she paid for it from Verizon instead of backmarket. If the phone is like, if you've owned it for I don't know, 6, 8, 9, 10 months, maybe a year or so, they're probably going to use refurbished pricing because they do have the right to do that, just like car insurance does. I got into an argument with my car insurance because I thought that my insurance covered OEM parts. No, it does not. Didn't know that. But it's the same. Now, yes, Tony. So there is a 30-day grace period. Is insurance okay? Let me explain that. So you will find language on the AKKO website that says that there is a 30-day waiting period on all claims. In certain circumstances, if the two initial photos of the phone were uploaded at time of registration, AKKO may waive that waiting period. So here's kind of what it is. When we partnered up with AKKO back in the day, they had a 30-day waiting period. I asked Jared, I said, hey, if it's an RFA member that sells the plan, and they assist the customer in uploading the photo, and we get the two proper photos and they've done everything correctly, can we waive that 30-day waiting period for their customer? And he said yes. So that's how it goes now. Okay. That's why I'm so much trying to encourage you guys, please help the customer upload the photos. Okay. AKKO doesn't want complaints. And for a lot of people on this call that I don't know, I'll just share this with you. Even though I'm not an employee of AKKO, okay, I'm not paid by AKKO, I'm not one of their employees. I have complete access to the entire claims procedure, and I see the communication between AKKO and the customer. So I literally put my entire reputation behind the fact that AKKO will always do the right thing. Okay. Tony can testify. He had a situation, oh, was it this week or end of last week? It was a few days ago
Yeah, like
where
this.
he had that customer, right? And he says, Brian, can you get this expedited for me, please? She's in a super, super hurry. I'm like, yeah, hang on, let me look at it here. And I go, well, we got good photos, we got this, we got that. All right. I tagged Jara, she approves it. Tony fixed the phone, had the customer out. Now that's not normal. Claims can take, and it says it on there, claims can take anywhere from 1 to 24 hours. It depends on how old the claim is or how old the plan is. If they've been with AKKO for 6 months, it's pretty much auto approve. Okay. If it's in the first 30 days, it's going to have to get a human involved, me or Kevin or Jara or Rachel or whoever. Okay. On the claims team. And I have heard from some people that, told me, it's like, Brian, we just don't push it that hard because we see what's happened with other device insurance companies like Upsy and other ones that, you don't want to mention how they're so hard to get along with. Tony, I don't pay you for anything. You're a member just like everybody else is. Have you had any bad experiences with a claim from AKKO? And you've had some claims that were kind of like, we might need to look at this customer a little bit closer, but what has AKKO always done for you?
I mean, they've always come through. I mean, the
Yeah.
worst that's happened is we were asked for further proof that the device is either broken, basically, which is literally just taking a picture and uploading it. It takes like
Right.
we were inconvenienced for 5 minutes. I mean, other than that, we're either we've been almost always paid out within that day, if not the day after. So
Yeah.
this is great.
Well, one thing, and I'm trying to be fast about it, but one thing that the RFA is doing for AKKO, and I don't really need, I'm not going to go into the reasons to why. It was we volunteered to do it because it's something that we were seeing. So when you submit an invoice to AKKO, they tag me. In the response, it says, please allow Brian up to 48 hours to approve this for payout, business hours. Okay. I'm usually pretty fast about it. I do, and in the AKKO SOP document, if you don't have one, email me at brian@repairsfirst.org and I'll send it to you. But in there it states what we need on the invoice, so I can just look at my phone, even if I'm on an airplane, I can go, yep, it got this, got that. Yeah, that's about okay, fair enough. Okay, approve and have it done. But if it's on a holiday weekend and I'm down at the lake, it might take till Monday. Sorry. But it's usually a pretty quick process. But going back to the whole sales thing, I just kind of want to drive the point home. Um, I never really understood it until, back when I was with the CPR franchise, right? I was in the automotive franchise, and most of our automotive repair shops had weeds growing in the parking lot, and I mean, mechanics were filthy and everything like that. And even I would wear shorts and a t-shirt, right? And my dad came in to me one time and says, "Man, you just don't have very good curb appeal." I was like, "What do you mean by curb appeal?" He says, "Well, you got weeds in the parking lot, you got fingerprints all over the glass. It just doesn't look like a professional repair shop." And even he said, "Go look at the dealership. See why their parking lot is full. Not because they have cars that always break down. Well, because of that. Some of it might be warranty work. Okay, I can take that argument. But all right, Tony, no problem, bud. But if it's you got to put on the show. Okay. Otherwise, and I do it all the time too. If I walk into a place and if the guy's wearing flip flops and a hat on backwards and a holy shirt, I'll ask him for every flipping discount I can possibly get because I know he'll give it to me. And so it's true. So it's all about sales, and hopefully even if it's not AKKO, I hope that this kind of a presentation, will help you all to be able to sell and sell more repairs, upsales. I mean, even tempered glass, it's a sales process. So I'm going to pause for a second, catch up on questions. Let's see here. Registration process. Okay, that's Tony. All right. Anybody, feel free to unmute yourself and share an opinion, thoughts, anything at all, anything related to this phone call or this meeting or whatever you want to call it. Cody, you've made a couple of them. You've recently started selling it. Do you want to talk about your experience? If you don't, that's okay. You don't have to be called out. Maybe you didn't hear me, no problem. But okay, so we have repair desk kiosk in the mall, so we need a mirror, right? Yes. So it is preferred to have a mirror. So when with the registration process, if you log into your AKKO, so I'll just tell you how this process works here. If you go to partner.akko.app and create a profile, if you log into that portal, and if you click on repairs or claim, and if it says go to my calendar, that's because I haven't gotten you through the system yet. So make an appointment on my calendar. When you make an appointment on my calendar, you're going to get an email, a couple of them actually. One of the emails is going to say, please watch this 30-minute video. The first 15 minutes of that video, I talk about the RFA, the benefits, all the extra perks that you get by participating in the AKKO program, the parts discounts, accessory, all that fun stuff. Okay, the Cellbotics platform, everything. And then the second half of that video, it shows you what the pictures need to look like. Okay. So when the customer downloads the app, they put in their password and stuff. You open it up, add device. Okay, hold on, Edgar, I'm gonna let you in here. Edgar, welcome. I know you're a little bit late. It's okay. This is being recorded, and just shoot me an email, and I'll show you where it's at. It's going to be in the RFA platform. But in any event, um, and then you add device, right? And you extract the IMEI and the serial number. Boom. You're gonna see a box that says front. Okay. You push on that, it activates the forward facing camera. There'll be a red dot that'll show up on the screen right here. Okay. You push that. It's a countdown from 5 to 0. You hold it in front of the mirror like 2 feet away. Okay. Make sure your hand is off of the phone as much. This is a bad example because I got a case on my phone, but put it close enough to where you can see the entire phone. No case on the phone, no nothing on the phone. Okay. It'll take a picture automatically. You flip it over, you look at it and go, yep, that's a good picture, accept. And then you click back. And then it does the same thing for the back. Make sure the case is not on the phone. That will get a claim denied. There's nothing I can do about that. If the case is on the phone and they ever file a claim for a broken back, it will get denied because we have no proof that that back wasn't broken when they registered. So make sure the case is off of the phone. Hold it up 2 feet away, and there we go. Get a good picture of it, minus the case. And then that's it. The customer can fill out their address and all that other stuff later. Okay. Spiffs for the reps, right? Time to time, yes, AKKO will do extra spiffs for the reps, for the RFA members. They do it to offset the RFA membership fee. That's one of their ways of doing it. The vendors do like a 3 to 15% discount on your parts and accessories. But yeah, they do run spiffs on certain times that will get paid out to the reps directly. The spiffs spiffs are the smallest part to this program. But I'll just tell you, on the flat rate plans, they are 2 times MRR, monthly recurring revenue. So if it's a $5 plan, 5 times 2 is 10. If the customer signs up monthly, you get $10 for signing the customer up. Okay. If they sign up annually, you get 3 times MRR. So that's 15. Where you guys and ladies out there can make the most money is to offer the $15 AKKO everything plan. It's cheaper than Assurian. It's the least expensive one out there with the most coverage. And if you get a customer to sign up monthly, you get $30. If they sign up annual, you get $45. So, and it's still, you don't have to go home and help them register the other 24 other items, just their cell phone. That's it. Just their cell phone. But, going back to what Tony said and what I started off with, it is a sales process. This is not, and I use this joke, but it's true. The AKKO program is not like the Kevin Costner movie Field of Dreams, where you build a baseball field in the middle of a cornfield and Babe Ruth is going to show up. That's not how this works. You have to you have to offer it to your customer, show about it, put it on your Facebook. Hey, come see me, get the AKKO on your phone. I'll help you register. You got to really talk about it like what you would if you were if you were really focused on selling tempered glass. Um, so, so we have Boost mobile stores as well. If CX has 4 lines, how much will it cost? There is a family plan. Okay, so it depends on which plans that they offer. There's the $5, the $8, the $11, and the $15 flat rate plan. That's per line. Okay. But they do have a plan, and I'm sorry, I'm going to have to pull it up here because I don't, bear with me, please. I need to log into my AKKO platform. Let's see, register. There is a family plan. They don't just load it in your system. You have to ask for it because it's a little bit more intuitive. Okay, it's a home electronics plus plan. And this covers, hold on here, bear with me. I'm not in a store anymore. Tony could probably answer this question. I wish he was still on the call. Bear with me. 1, 5, 8, 11, 15. Nope. Family plan, home electronics. Okay, it's not letting me see it. I want to say it's $45 and it's unlimited lines in the home. But don't take that to the bank. Send me an email, brian@repairsfirst.org. And after this call, I'll make sure that I get that answer and I will reply back. Because I don't remember it right off the top of my head. I'm not seeing it on here. It's not giving me the thing. I don't know why my portal's not working or that's not pulling up, but I believe it's $45 or $50 a month, unlimited phone lines in the home. I hope that answered your question for now. Here, now let me do it this way. It's Brian at it's .org. I know our website's .com. Funny story about that. When we first started the RFA, we were going to make it a nonprofit, and then after about 6 months, we decided not to go down that path. I just never changed my email address. So it's .org, but the website is .com. Okay. All right. Anybody have any questions? I do have the Gadget Repair Expo Zoom call here in 20 minutes, so I can probably hang on for another probably 10 minutes if anybody has any questions or wants to share some experiences with the AKKO program.
Brian, I have a couple questions.
Yes, sir.
One got asked me yesterday, and I assume I know the answer to this, but customer said, is there any maximum amount to like maximum dollar amount of a value of an electronic they're going to insure? So like if they got the everything plan and they have a $10,000 Mac, can they put that on the plan, or is that going to be a no thing?
The everything plan that now they do have plans that will go higher on the $15 everything plan. The max per claim cannot exceed $2,000.
Okay. And the other question I had, just because I just thought of it while we were on this call, they sent out an email about getting a custom link so that your customers can go directly purchase through your custom link.
Yep.
Is there any possibility of getting that custom link co-branded?
You mean white labeled?
Not white labeled, just co-branded in the aspect that if I'm going to send my customers a link, I want my logo on it. I don't mind if the AKKO logo's on it. I just want my logo on it.
Yeah, I gotcha. That's a question I don't know the answer to. Well, what some people have done in the past, and they've switched back because of name brand recognition. They have put it on their website, and then they put the link on there, and they got AKKO to approve to white label it a different name, and then they changed it back. Now, as far as can Lucia put your, I don't know the answer to that question. Nate,
okay, I can just email back to her.
Yeah, email Lucia on that, and she'll give you the answer. But as far as the link, okay, I've got two different feelings about this link. Okay, I'm just going to be brutally honest with you guys, and I've told AKKO the same thing. I think it's great for people to be able to put it on their website, and people can sign up from your website. Like, let's just say they go home, they're like, oh, I decided I wanted to get it after all. Okay. In my experience, because I review and see every single claim that comes in, okay. Well, maybe not every single one, but I see a lot of them. If the customer does not follow the instructions and upload those 2 required photos from the very beginning, their claim is going to get denied, and then they're going to be mad. Okay. So now, can I sometimes get those reversed? Yes. But now here's what has to happen. Okay. Anytime AKKO is going to deny a claim, they have to they run it through us first. Okay. So now they're going to ping me in Slack and say, hey, Brian, possible denial here. Okay. I'm going to look at it. Nope, no pictures. Now Nate, I'm going to use you as a guinea pig on this one. Now I got to carve time out of my schedule. Okay. To call Nate as an example, right? Now Nate has got to stop serving customers and carve time out of his schedule to talk to me, right? And then, hey, Nate, you remember Betty Ford? She didn't, yeah, whatever. Or no, she bought it online. I was like, well, I have no proof that her device was even in good working condition. Well, Brian, I just fixed her phone 4 days ago, or I just fixed her phone, I don't know, 10 days ago, whatever it was. Hey, all right, cool. Can you send me a receipt of that? And will you write a statement out that, on this date at this time, it was, let me see what I can do. And then I go back to AKKO and I plead the case, right? Um, on when they do a link though, I mean, it's really hard for me to be able to do that because you did not physically inspect the phone in most cases. So, but I mean, if you want to put language on your website that says, make sure you follow these instructions. If not, you do not have coverage. I can tell you this, the customer is going to get text messages and emails every day until they upload the pictures, provided they read their emails and don't, block their text messages. So, maybe I'm overthinking it. I'm open to any kind of feedback. I'm not in the stores anymore. Most of you guys on here know that. So again, if it works, great. If it don't work, well, then we would just probably suggest a different a different route. Plus, if you can get them to come into your store, it's going to give you a chance to upsell that person tempered glass or maybe a case for their phone, or maybe, hey, did you know, customer, that we also fix drones or TVs? Something, when they're in front of you, you have much more opportunity to make more sales than if they just go to your website and buy it. But Nate, yes, you can get that link from Lucia. You can email it out to your previous customers. Not a problem at all. I shared my thoughts. So,
Yeah, totally heard.
yep.
I had one other question that I think just went out of my brain, but I thought would be valuable for everybody. What was I about to say? I don't know. Maybe I'll ask it on the next call.
Okay. Well,
Oh,
if you
no,
think,
actually, I got it.
go ahead. Yep.
So, bundling this with something else. Do you guys
Yes.
see a lot of success from people that are bundling AKKO with, say, screen protection or something like that?
Absolutely. Yes. It's a different registration process. So let's just say, you have to use a JOT form, and Lucia can help you with that. But let's just say that, I don't know, you use Olympus or a SEMA. I'm just going to give a financer. Okay. And you sell a phone to a customer and you add on this and add on that and add on this, and you get funded by the thing. You can actually add a year of device protection or even 3 months or 6 months on the phone. Go ahead and collect the money to your store, and then you just pay AKKO at the end of the month, okay, for that plan, or whenever you collect it. I'm not sure exactly how fast you got to pay them, but I think they just have you do it like all at once. But it's a different registration process. You have to use a JOT form and then take a video and upload the video. People that are doing it, yeah, they're bundling a lot. So short answer, yes. Yeah. I know some of the guys that use RTO Mobile, they'll tell the customer, hey, in order for me to, finance your device, you have to have AKKO on it. And you can look into your dashboard and randomly check once a month or whatever that their plan is still active. Reggie I think he's in Florida. He uses that method to where if he sees the phone's not covered, he'll contact the customer and say, hey, I know you're current with your payments to me, but you're not current with AKKO. Are you aware of that? And maybe the customer changed credit cards and didn't know. I mean, it's a good chance for a good opportunity to reconnect with that customer that you're taking lease payments on, and for them to contact AKKO and get it back insured. So, yeah,
Brian, can I ask you a question?
sure.
We also do RTO, and like if customer don't pay the AKKO payment, right?
Mhm.
It's kind of insurance for us also, right? So if they stop paying the RTO and they stop paying the AKKO, can we still pay for AKKO? And if the customer don't pay for the device, we got covered for the device. We give it to the customer.
So it covers the user. Okay. So if the customer quits making payments on it for whatever reason, and quits paying for the insurance, are you protected? No. Have they looked at some plan, or there wasn't a lot of people. There have been a few people ask, hey, how can I protect myself on this? I even made a comment to Jared and the AKKO team. I was like, what if it was, a percent of the transaction? And if the customer runs off with the phone, let's just say you financed it for $400 and they paid in $300. Okay. So you're out of pocket $100. My thought was to try to create a plan like that to where at least you would be made whole, or at least cover your out of pocket expense. They're just, we haven't put something like that together yet. But it has been a conversation. And it just nothing like that. So, but what I would do though is encourage your customers, say, hey, look, if you're having a financial problem, look at RTO Mobile, nothing different than Rent-A-Center. There's a reason why Rent-A-Center and Aaron Sales and Lease do so well. Okay. If the customer is late, call them, hey, Susie, I noticed you missed your payment yesterday. Everything going okay? Oh, well, yeah, well, my baby got sick and this and that. Hey, not a problem. You want me just to waive this payment for you, add it on to the very end? Will that help you out? Yeah, okay. And they do it. There will be a small percentage of people that probably just run away from you. But you need to qualify your customers first. And Larry doesn't like it when I say this from RTO Mobile, but it's true. You don't want to finance everybody through RTO Mobile. Not everybody. No, 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 no. I would go to a local Rent-A-Center or Aaron Sales and Lease or some rent-to-own place and get a copy of their application and then make your own and verify where they work, verify that they, where they live, where they say they live. Get a copy of their driver's license. Okay. Have that information on file. And then if they do steal the phone from you, then it's theft of services in most states. I don't know about your laws in every single state, but it is considered to be theft of services. And you can have that person, you can, press charges against that person. So, I mean, you have that. Um, but I just wouldn't let everybody have RTO. And then with your RFA membership, since there's RTO fees, with your RFA membership, they actually will credit you $69 every month towards your RTO mobile fees. So that's their way of covering your RFA membership fee. So. Okay, here, hold on. Any other questions? Those are good questions.
Hey, Brian, this is Bill Northam. I've got a couple questions.
Yes, sir.
And you might have said this already and I might have missed it. So
Okay.
I know you said that we get covered for the full repair. Is there a difference between aftermarket and OEM now that Mobile Centrics is going to have access to the Apple OEM?
Here is a good rule of thumb. Okay. If I came into your store and I had an iPhone 12 Pro Max, I'm just giving you this one as an example, and I don't have AKKO, and you put a soft OLED on my phone, okay, the X07 soft OLED. Now, and then you sell me the insurance, the device protection. Okay, 3 months goes by, I broke my phone. I bring it back in, I file the claim, I get approved, I come back into you. You then can only put the soft OLED back on my phone because that's what I had when I signed up for AKKO.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if when the customer registered, if they had an OEM screen on there, when you take, and you're going to know when you take the screen off of that phone, what was on it, because you guys know what OEM and aftermarket looks like. If you take off an aftermarket, you put back on an aftermarket. If you take off an OEM, you put back on an OEM. If you have access to the parts. Now, arguably, aftermarket is lesser expensive for AKKO. We want to make sure that they're not. Just in transparency, when we built the rate plans, we did not build it for OEM pricing. But I check the books, I see everything. Everything's going fine. Okay, it's all a numbers game. The more plans you sell, the more money going in, the more they pay out on claims. But they will pay for OEM if there's OEM on the phone. That has not been a problem thus far.
Okay.
Okay.
And then
And
I know we
also,
were
just to,
talking.
just to let you know on that mobile centric thing, you might want to check, because I believe it's still going to be lesser expensive for you to buy it from the self-help program, because when I talk to, I don't know, is there any CPR stores on here right now?
Well, I'm actually an IRP already,
Okay,
so we'll
okay.
probably gonna stay the IRP, but I just know that with
Okay.
that happening, that there's gonna be a lot more opportunity for people to have
Yeah.
access to OEM. So,
Yeah, yeah.
okay,
And so, yeah, as long as what the screen you take off, if it's OEM, you can go back on with OEM, not a problem at all.
okay. And then the second question kind of leads into some of the stuff that you're talking about like the white labeling, the website and doing a variety of different things. If we already have a subscription plan, or we're looking at a subscription plan that wants to include AKKO in that, and I guess I'm just trying to figure out if we wanted to take the payment for that subscription plan, like a protection plan, and let's say it's $30 a month, and we want to submit the 15. So the customer is paying us the 30, and then we submit the 15, or whatever plan that we're using for AKKO. Most likely it's going to be the everything plan. That would work, correct? I mean, as long as AKKO is getting paid, they don't care who's paying it, correct?
Well, that is a 80% true statement.
Okay.
The logistics behind it, though, is what I would say contact Lucia and see what she
Okay.
says. That would be
And
I think you might have to do 3 months at a time minimum.
okay. And do we have because I don't know that I've got Lucia's email or phone number. Where is that
Okay.
available at?
By asking me.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm gonna put it here in chat. Give me one quick second. Bear with me. Okay, there is Lucia's email. And she would be the one for that kind of a question. But I do believe, short answer, I believe yes. I just think though that I think it's like minimum 3 months at a time. And then it's a different registration process, but she would be the person to answer that question. All right, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the recording. I do need to jump over to the Gadget Repair Expo live stream here, and well, I'm already late, but that's okay. Just want to throw it out there one more time. Any quick question that I can answer in the next like 30 seconds? All right, sounds great. Well, if anybody has any further questions, my email is brian@repairsfirst.org. Feel free to shoot me an email. And thank you, everybody, for taking the time out of your day to be on this call. See ya.